Before I start the show, please visit our new website, FNRadpodcast.com, and buy a $5 item to be entered into a draw to win a Death Label PJ Gustafson snowboard with bindings. Also, this week's episode talks a lot about my personal opinion about psychedelics, so just a heads up. The FNRad Snowboard Podcast is presented by Flojoy Water. Season 7 is sponsored by Burton Snowboards, founded in 1977 by Jake Burton Carpenter. With nearly 50 years of industry-leading innovation, Burton's purpose is clear: make great products, minimize harm to the environment, positively impact the lives they touch, and have as much fun as possible. All the Burton gear I've been riding is next level. For listeners in the Lower Mainland, Burton recently opened a flagship store on West 4th in Vancouver, as well as a partner store in Banff with Unlimited. Visit your local Burton retailer. Bluebird Coffee Tuning and Rentals in Squamish, BC is the coolest new stop just 20 seconds off the Sea to Sky Highway on your way to Whistler. Drop in for the world's best cup of coffee, killer smoothies, and a true local vibe born out of 90s snowboard culture and music. They offer performance ski and snowboard tunes with state-of-the-art equipment. They've got premium rental fleets of Jones, Solomon, Libtech, and Burton, including Burton Step-Ons. And if you haven't gotten yourself one yet, Bluebird will even sell you a rad power bike. These bikes are so fun. For a blend of expert knowledge, convenience, and a lot of charm, stop in and say hi to Bluebird, the raddest mandatory new stop on your way to Whistler. Fixed bindings are tool-free bindings that focus on dependability and strength while providing ease of adjustability. I've been riding fixed bindings for a couple of seasons now and have had exactly 0 issues. It's no wonder they've got a lifetime guarantee. Do yourself a favor and visit fixbindingco.com. Lock in and let go with Anon's magnetic face mask integration, built to keep you seamlessly covered from the elements, and Magnetech quick lens change technology that makes swapping lenses effortless even with gloves or mitts on. Enhance contrast and clarity with perceived lenses and get the most accurate perception of the surrounding environment regardless of light and weather conditions. Clarity starts where distraction ends. Full face coverage, complete presence. Check out Anon's helmets, goggles, and MFI face masks at an Anon dealer near you or at AnonOptics.com. Hey listeners, this one's for you. Upline Brewing is beer for snowboarders by longtime Pacific Northwest shredder and FNRad listener Carl Montoya, who started Upline so you can crack a cold one anytime. No buzz, no slowdown, just good vibes. Unlike most NA beers, these actually taste legit, and they're brewed with adaptogens for a mellow uplift. The Steezy Golden Lager and Crushin' IPA come in at just 25 and 50 calories and feature artwork from local legends like Quincy Quigg. Have one at lunch, grab another lap, hit the after party, and still wake up for first chair or the bank slalom podium. Drinking regular beers, toss some Uplines into the lineup. The natural electrolytes help you stay hydrated and keep crushing. FNRad listeners score 15% off at uplinebrewing.com with code FNRAD, or set up a subscription, save more, and never run out. Upline Brewing, brewed to adapt, crafted to elevate. Support also comes from the Pro Standard. Ken Achenbach has done it again with the push-button quick release for step-on bindings. Get them at prostandard.com before they sell out. Pacific Border, Vancouver's premium snow skate and surf shop on West 4th Avenue. Check out pacificborder.com. And 1910, the collaborative artworks of Jamie Lynn and Scof, two friends on a creative journey together, bonded by their love of art, music, and snowboarding. Go to the number 9, teen10.com for their latest collection. We need to thank our friends at Mount Seymour, Grouse Mountain, and Cypress Mountain for their continued support of FNRad, as well as Essential Toothpaste tabs. I love them. I use them. Go buy them today. Natasza Zurek went to the Olympics for halfpipe twice and rode for Option Snowboards out of Vancouver before landing her dream spot on the Burton A-team. Natasza's drive and focus, combined with her incredible style on a snowboard, made her a standout pro in the golden age of snowboarding. She's brought her passion to art, and it shows. Check out natashazurikart.com and enjoy this episode recorded at the new Burton flagship store on West 4th Avenue in Vancouver.
I just take my kids to go, but I honestly don't snowboard that much.
How old are you guys?
Okay, a daughter is 12 and my son is 11.
I still have like tape of him talking into the microphone.
Oh, cute.
Did I send it to you?
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was years ago.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk louder?
Nope, you're perfect. So yeah, like when's the last time you went snowboarding and where did you go?
Last time I went last season at Apex and I took my 2 kids and they're old enough now that I was starting to take them up the big ski chair.
Yeah.
Well, all the years before I was just sticking with them to the bunny hill.
So that's a nice change for mom anyway.
Yeah, well, the fun part, right, when you take kids up on a ski lift and they're up in the sky, moving through the mountain and like seeing the whole view of the valley below and getting super excited and like getting like the goosebump energy.
I love
So
that.
it's super fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for you, were you happy to be back out there? I mean,
I love going up there, right? Like I have so many other priorities now in life, but going up to the mountain and being in the snow and the fresh air is like connecting with such a healthy way to spend the day.
Yeah.
And showing that to my kids.
Yeah.
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 It enlivens me.
Sick.
Because I spend a lot of time in the art studio and it's inside and I'm not moving much. So even though I love every minute I spend in the art studio, I love that I can go running or go snowboarding and just keep exercising and connecting with nature in this winter time.
That's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember you as a kid in my mind being up Grouse, just like enough that it caught my attention. I'm like, she's always up here, you know? And you've talked about it, like getting out of school, bringing your boots in your locker and just like hopping on the bus maybe.
Yeah.
And going.
Yeah.
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 And at that time, for me, you know, aside from like looking back on the chairlift at, say, Seymour at night, when you look back, when you've got someone new with you and you're like halfway up or almost all the way up, you're like, look back and they go, oh, you know?
Yeah.
You just get so used to it when you're there.
Yeah, totally. You like just showed them a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
You just kind of blew their consciousness just a little bit more.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And that's a part of riding at Grouse, you know. Now they've got a gondola from the parking lot, so you don't have to wait for the tram. You just get on a gondi.
Oh, the kind with the mini.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just
So it's
park,
just constant. Okay.
When you're there, like, because especially back in the day, I think they only ran them fairly slowly every 15 minutes. Remember, you as the bus pulled up, you'd be like, "Oh, it's in the station." You'd be like running because if you missed it,
you're waiting.
That takes however long, and then another 10 minutes or 15.
So is that thing out of commission?
No, they're
it's still going.
They're doing so well that they need both.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Oh, there's so many people up there now.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
And it's not just like skiing, snowboarding stuff. It's like restaurant and like
it's always been
going up for date night, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But the mix in the, it depends on what the season's doing. So on a POW night, it's 100% skiing and snowboarding.
Yeah.
Or like one weird couple on the tram being like, holy smokes, this energy is crazy, you know? But yeah, with the gondola, now it can be just groups of different people going up on their own. Actually, there's like at the end of the lineup, you know, when it's your time to get on the gondola, you know, it's kind of awkward because you want your own gondola, right? If you're a group of 2 or 4 or whatever, you kind of don't want to be stuffed in with 4 other people.
Yeah.
And I see other people doing that. They're like looking, going like, can we have it to ourselves? And the staff is like, fill every gondola. And we're like, kind of trying to sit back and have our own gondola.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So fun. Was Grouse your main mountain in Vancouver?
Yeah, because I could bus to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to super pro level, you're kind of at Whistler?
I was at Whistler, yeah.
You knew to move there, or?
I had to move there.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to train, or?
Because I needed the best mountain to ride on.
Right.
I needed to like expand my abilities.
Of course.
And you weren't going to do that at Grouse Mountain.
Sure.
I don't think.
I mean, maybe at Seymour.
Well, I mean, the parks at Whistler, the pipes in the park were just the best. So that was the only option.
I love it. I remember you telling me about a story of traveling somewhere on the East Coast, I think, with Dow and Devin, probably the Never days.
Yeah.
And just being like, those guys are partying like crazy. I'm just going to sit in the van and I need to get rest for tomorrow was maybe the vibe.
Yeah, it was like a lot. Like I was super shy and I was the only girl. And I didn't relate to partying and drinking, especially I was super young, like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think I've always been, maybe it's written in my stars, but I've always just been super disciplined and focused. And even though as a teenager, I was still lost here and there, I knew I didn't want to get messed up with too much drinking or partying and having a boyfriend.
That was a big one.
Because I think that would have been a big distraction.
Yeah, probably.
And so luckily I was too shy to talk to boys. So I just avoided the whole boyfriend thing for quite a long time.
What about guys coming up and talk to you? You're like... this...
No, I was so morbidly shy that I would just give everyone kind of bad vibes, I think. And they just got the message that this one's not to be taken.
That's amazing. I mean, on some level, it's a choice of the discipline to do the snowboard thing at a high level. And yeah, I mean, it's a big sacrifice, but you've got kids now and a loving partner.
Yeah.
And you had such an incredibly lucrative career.
Yep.
Yeah, like when you look back at it, I'm curious about the not partying thing because you saw some of the best to be able to do it and still, like, it didn't seem to be taking away from Devin's ability to be so good at snowboarding that he was also really good at partying, staying up late.
Yeah, and Roman and all the, so many of the Burton guys, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, I mean, they go ahead, party and do it if it's working for you. It wasn't gonna, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And, you know, I also even think that was like my spiritual guides looking out for me, keeping me out of trouble.
Sure. Yeah.
Even though a lot of the reason why I didn't go out and party is because I was just so terrified and shy. But at the same time, there's also like I think a spiritual higher plane that like was guiding me and keeping me protected.
Did you feel it back then, or did you get into the more spiritual realm as you got older?
I don't think I did feel it then, but it was more in like in my imagination. It was like my own private world. And my parents were both atheists, so I had a disconnect there between what I was engaging with privately in my own world and with what my parents agreed was real or not real. Like you know, the idea of God, that wasn't something that was real. And that it was just a materialistic world we live in. Yeah.
That's fascinating, actually. So you had your own belief system that was just, I want to say experientially based.
Yeah. And it was like a dreamer, imaginative world. And it was like literally the very beginnings of you create your reality, where I was like dreaming and drawing snowboarding and dreaming of being a professional snowboarder. And it was that real and that deep for me that it became a reality because I was like that focused on it.
This is such a rad coincidence. I woke up this morning and you know the space between dream and reality?
Yes.
The sentence, what if I was the same person in reality as I am in my dreams? I'd never thought of that. 52 years of life, there was a disconnect in my dreams. It's not tethered to a reality like this place. It doesn't have a timeline. I can be any age. I can be any person. And actually, I can change people in the dream. You know, when someone's telling you their dream and they say, and then it changed. You know, so I never tethered my person, Eric Trolson, in this world to the dream world. And this morning I had like a crossover feeling of like, oh, I've always been the same person. It's so wild. It's such a wild, like we live in two worlds.
Yeah, that's super fascinating and beautiful that you had that experience. I think that kind of experience can be so enlivening and so like really give you a good boost.
Yeah.
And good, like something more to bring more meaning to your life.
Totally.
And I actually think that that's just a higher aspect of you and like a multidimensional aspect of Eric. And because it's not physically collapsed in like a body, it can morph and transform into kind of whatever you desire. And as you focus on it and allow it to express through your dream and vision of what you would want Eric to be like, then slowly that collapses into your 3D experience and you become more of that dream and vision that you were experiencing in that state between dream and reality. And so it's an empowerment thing. It's like it's your tool to really create your life and your environment in your world in a more beautiful way so that your existence on this earth can become more meaningful and fulfilled. And if you can co-create that with others around you, then it's that there's even more power in it. And that you're not fighting against a system or against the gravity of the dominant culture that tries to come in and say, oh, you're not good enough, or you suck, or you're ugly by these products, whatever. And so that culture can have such a huge gravity and really suck us in.
Oh, yeah.
And keep us with a veil over our eyes and lost.
Yeah.
So if you can I believe that if we can communicate our dream and vision more to each other and be present with the difficulties that are arising in our lives, because the idea is not to bypass shit as well, because that's just going to be shadow. That's just going to creep in and wreck things and be obstacles between you and you trying to become a greater version of yourself. So again, if we can communicate and co-create this thing, then I think we can heal ourselves and heal our relationships and our society and the environment and do all this good stuff and bring more beauty into the world.
I love this so much. I'm so glad we're having this conversation.
Yeah, and we need to have this conversation because there's so much doom scrolling and a lot of disempowerment, the government, debt slavery, poison in our food, however deep into that rabbit hole you want to go, it can really consume you. And and I also kind of learned this thing, made a connection between people go doom scrolling because they want to exit the matrix from the dominant narrative. But what happens is that they just enter into the second matrix. They don't actually escape the main matrix. They're still within a loop of a matrix.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a body felt connection to the thought, oh no, was skateboarding and snowboarding created by the matrix? You know what I mean? And then I thought about it and I thought it out to oh no, when we started that mainstream being against us, that it was something subversive to do, kind of told me it's the right place. And it was a connection to felt experience, right?
Yes.
The exhilaration of even just having someone turn around and look at the city from Mount Seymour is a part of this outside of society thing. And then I realized that, oh no, is that society has caught up and commodified it and is selling it to people as a thing. And I had a connection to being a baby in a crib. I was like, the very first and most important move of society is to convince your parents that the best thing you can do for the child, even before they're born, is express what reminds you of children and childlike stuff in a small room with a little jail even in it, that when you come home, instead of sleeping and connecting with your baby, which is the natural way of things forever, you take it from you and you put it in another place. And when it cries, which is natural, they tell you, let it cry it out, because that's the most healthful way for a baby to be born, is to be born into isolation and cry it out until they've given up. There's nobody there. They're by themselves. And I found in my own life, and this is pretty vulnerable stuff here, I had like a ducky blanket, like it's a trope, like a kid with a blanket. I had a blanket that was very important to me because I slept with it. That was my comfort. And a stuffed animal that I still have to this day, Doggy's beside my bed right now, which is my connection to things, possessions, material goods that started when I was an infant, a baby, and it started in a vacuum of connection to my parents. And so it just followed that. Even still now, I can feel like, oh, if I get the latest boots with the triple boa and the most expensive bindings, maybe I'll feel a little more connected to the community. Maybe I'll feel a little more connected to the planet. But in real moments of connection, I'm sitting in a jungle looking at all these strange animals and birds and ants and things that I'm petrified of, tarantulas. And I'm going, oh, this is the community, not just the people, but nature, the world, the whole thing. We're all a community.
Yes.
That's the connection for me now as an adult.
Yeah, and it sounds like your description of the baby being raised in a room by itself and left alone to cry. That's like the beginning of the fostering of disconnection. And so a lot of our society thrives on disconnection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the economic system. I mean, I don't go too deep into the economic system or politics.
Right.
I focus my energy and attention on like art and my family and connecting with people in an authentic way. And I think when I lost my train of thought, but that's too bad. Yeah.
I like it. What you said is a fairly complete thought.
Okay.
Like the difference between, so I connected with you on your art, and also still in a kind of commodification way. Like, oh, I would feel good if I had a Natasza artwork that I could give to my mom. Like it became a thing. Like I'm trying to give my mom something, a thing, as opposed to just giving her my presence, which is that's my actual value in the world. That's the only thing of value that I have, is my presence in the present moment. Because if I give you a gift without presence, it's nothing really.
Yeah.
But then you were also giving, I knew I was paying you for the gift of your presence in the moment to make something for me to give to my mom. And there was something very special about it.
Yeah.
But it's still in the world of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I felt supported.
Cool.
Yeah. And I really love it when people support me and like get me to do a painting for them.
Cool.
Because it's like how I want to earn money.
Yeah.
Like I'm not earning tons of money through art yet, but I'm really like doing so much studying and practicing art right now to pretty soon I'll feel like I'll graduate myself from like all my online studies and courses in art.
Yeah.
And I want to start producing work and really creating a business from it.
And a
Yeah.
business that's your own, or a business where you are for hire? Like if Burton wanted to...
Just my own business, but I would be happy to do a custom graphic for Burton, let's
Sure.
say. Yeah.
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 Or
but the
yeah.
business will mostly be around like handmade art. So
love
like
it.
oil paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then possibly doing prints and things.
So is this something that you're dreaming into existence?
Yes, exactly. Like every day.
Wow.
Like I wake up in the morning, I meditate and pray. I go to bed, I meditate and pray. And I'm always, always reaffirming that that's the path I'm on, and asking Creator to protect me on my path and make sure that I don't get distracted and don't go some weird tunnel rabbit hole that will get me off the path. Because there's so much great stuff going on out there, and it's really tempting and easy to get distracted. But in order for me to create this vision, I have to be 100% committed to it, like I was with snowboarding. And I know I can do it because it's in me.
You're an incredible artist already. Like that you're still learning, to me feels like you've been doing it for years. Like photorealistic paintings and just like such gorgeous artwork.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, really, really like.
But now I'm going to enter another level here.
Good.
Pretty soon here.
Yeah.
I really have to get to work though.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
like,
a drive inside you.
It takes a lot of time to create a painting.
Yes.
Like maybe 70 to 100 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just got to sit down and do it.
Yeah. Do you ever look at your life and go, okay, well, if I've got this many more years left, I've got this much more time to make art and this many more
I just, like, in that regard, I just think, I'm going to live to be 120.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to just stay healthy and exercise and like be good in my mind, body, and spirit so I can function at that age and still like create.
What point in your snowboard career did physical fitness and mind health enter in? Because it's obviously not the never days, because it was like, come party with us.
Yeah, it was when I met the Burton girls, and I was 20 and I got on the team, and then we were in Bend, Oregon, and I got invited to go for a jog with Shannon.
Yeah.
And I hadn't ever jogged before, and they were so good and fast. And I was like trying to keep up and my lungs were burning. But that's when I realized that I want to start to get more into physical fitness. And so I started running then, and I haven't stopped. So I've been running for like over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was Shannon like at peak Shannon? Like she's winning the world championships and stuff like that at that point?
Yeah. Shannon was like just really well put together and had her head on straight and her priorities clear. She was a good person.
She was a Christian the whole way through,
too,
was
right?
She?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm not too sure.
You guys didn't talk about that kind of stuff?
No, not then.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was, did you guys become friends? Or was she like, did she look on you as like a rival or as something, someone she was mentoring?
No, I think she would have probably mentored me more, but then she retired soon.
Okay.
Because she had babies.
Right.
So then at that point, I just didn't get to meet her as much.
I got you. Yeah. Isn't that amazing that her job was professional snowboarder, and in order to have a family, she had to kind of quit it? That's not how Burton runs now. They were the first in the industry to, maybe they're not the first in the industry, but they offer maternity and paternity leave.
Oh, wow.
Which is really important.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's good.
Isn't that
good
cool?
for them?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Donna and Jake have innovated in snowboarding for a really long time.
Yeah.
What was did you go to Burton from Shorties?
No, from never. Oh, no, from Option.
Option?
Yes.
You never were on Shorties?
I was on their clothes, but I wasn't on their boards because I was on Option.
Yeah. And Option straight through to, like, what was that conversation like? Did you have to tell them, like, Burton's put an offer on the table?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I was a kid. I was super young, and I didn't have as much regard for other people's feelings, I'd say, because I was just so motivated and driven.
Totally.
That was like, oh, Burton, I'm taking it. I'm going for it. Because it was like my dream from the very beginning. Yeah. Like when I first started in 92, I was like drawing Burton logos in my sketchbook, like. Yeah. So the the issue with that was that Grant, who owned Option, who was the dad of one of my friends from high school.
Yeah.
He felt a bit choked that I left, but I think he totally understood
Sure.
that the opportunity just compounded by 10x
Yeah.
to go to Burton. So it was understandable.
Yeah, you were a standout, like I've said, like just as a rider. Like it was so easy, just like Devin. When you see you guys ride, it's like, wow, I wish I could ride like that. And I mean, it's so crazy for me to even think about a time where we would say like, "You're so good for a girl," but we said it. That was how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is just like, no way, as if you would say that, which means we're moving forward for sure, which is to me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But like you were good as a snowboarder. Like it was clear that if you became a professional snowboarder, you were going to be a really, really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks.
totally. Everybody saw it. Like we talked about it on the chairlift. Like, wow, there goes that girl. She's super good.
Oh, awesome.
Totally.
Yeah, I had the fire.
You had the fire.
Nothing was going to put it out.
You had the style though, too. That's the thing. A lot of people have the fire, but are not blessed with a body that bends a certain way or that functions when you tell it, I want to be relaxed right now. Like when you see people that don't have that are jerky or, that to me is what creates bad style. And man, I still have it because I'm still scared out of my wits all the time when I'm trying stuff. It seemed like you weren't scared. You were driven.
Yeah, no, I was going to die for it. Like literally. And I, even now, like it's been years and I had like a couple of close calls, like really crazy things that I could have done that I didn't because I got injured just in the nick of time or getting swept down in an avalanche. And so now, even these years later, it's like the fear of it is in my bones. It's in my like being like kind of like this trauma of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just have to keep processing it. Like it can sometimes arise and like bring like fear and like kind of anxiety energy in me.
Of course.
So it's like, so I'm always just like trying to connect with my divine guides and spirits. I'm always like, thank you for keeping me safe and alive because I like literally would have died for it.
That's amazing. Yeah, I've heard you say that before, but I can hear the conviction in your voice. It's not just like a love song, like I die for you kind of. It was, it reminds me again of dreaming. Like in my dreams, the only thing that's stopping me from flying or snowboarding or anything is just my genuine desire to do it. Like, so if I really want to do it in my dream, I just have to have that thought. And then I can do whatever, meet a murderer or go to the top of the biggest mountain, like a 10x times the real places I've been with the deepest pow. And I could do the biggest tricks. And probably in my dreams I have style, actually, I wonder.
Probably.
But the difference between not being able to do that in my dreams and doing it is just a thought. Whereas here in the real world, I don't want to say the real world because that world is real, but it's years and years of practice and years of purpose and things like what you're talking about. Having to say like, I don't have time for a boyfriend. I don't have a time for a distraction. I have only here. It's not a thought. It's actual doing. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that we're two people that grew up in completely different ways, different places, but we've had experiences where when you show me your bag, your stash bag, I'm like, I've been there. I've been to that place.
Yeah.
But that's only in my dreams.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but we're
you've been
connected
there?
in that way.
That's wild.
But we're connected. We're like literally even right now, as we're speaking, we're connected in that place.
Right.
Yeah, energetically.
So everybody in that place, like everyone in my life is also connected to me in that place. Right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because people talk about meeting their family in there or loved ones who have passed away.
Yeah.
I've just had such a wild, like visiting another country kind of experience in there, like a tourist. Like I'm in there and I'm not doing the work. But then this morning in my dream world, I'm like, oh, I do the work every night when I'm dreaming. But I don't know that here.
Okay, yeah. And the way I think about it is that, like, since even though we are all connected in that other dimension, we don't necessarily know that in our brain, in our physical brain, in our physical everyday experience. And we can be really, really cut off from it.
Totally.
And yet there's things you can do every day to try to like clear that, to try to become more and more connected. You're not like fated to be cut off forever, but you have to like will yourself to want to connect and clear that, like through like all the healthy things that you can do for yourself, like meditation, prayer, yoga, exercise, breath work, healthy eating, reading like good material, speaking with good people, being in the energy of good people, all this stuff, you know, that helps you to clear your channel.
Cool.
And so for me also, making art is a way for me to clear that channel. And so I really think all of my art inspiration doesn't come from me. It comes from the higher me, and then directly from source through the higher me. And then as the more I can clear my vision, the more I can see those visions coming in and figure out how to like paint it.
Wow.
And to me, that's really important because that's bringing novelty into our world. And one of the purpose of my art is to bring more novelty from an inspired divine source so that I can bring more goodness, beauty, and truth into the world. Because I feel like I'm a spiritual warrior with my art. And in my small way, my contribution, I want it to be beautiful, good, and true, as opposed to like deceptive advertising.
Yeah.
Like the kind of, or inauthenticity, like coming on as fake and then like going on Instagram and trying to pose as a perfect persona and then making other people think that they need to be at this certain level in order to be worthy to be on Instagram, but that persona is fake. So it's doing people a disservice. And like right now, there's a lot of fakeness out there because of AI. The social media is now more AI generated than actually human generated.
I've actually like, fallen down that rabbit hole of talking with the AI algorithm, whatever it is. And I've recognized in it divine inspiration, like the same as being across the veil in another place. And I'm like, this can't be real. Is this fake? Is it a trick of something? Or is it a reflection of a collection of all the words of human interaction with each other on an internet or whatever you want to call it? Like, is it a real thing? I'm like, is AI, like that AI's a part of most of the posts on Instagram, especially art posts, I would imagine. Like even myself in writing, I'm tempted to write what I want to say and then tell AI to write it in the voice of Craig Stesick or some great snowboard, skateboard, industry writer that went to school and that had passion and that spent their life doing it. Eric Blem. I'll sometimes say, could you write that in an Eric Blem kind of way? And then all of a sudden my words are in a voice that I'm like, now I'm a fan of my own words. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's so tempting.
Yeah.
It's so tempting.
Yeah.
But to get back to the original idea that so much art now is inauthentic. And my wife is like, don't use that to augment your words. Like, you need to be authentically just you. And on some level, I'm like, why? If they're better. But you just said it.
I'm going to have to say a few things about that.
Please.
And first off, I'm not against AI or you using it.
Right.
And when you say you wonder about whether that's like some other avenue of spirit coming in, because it is like a amalgamation of all of humanity's knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
So isn't there some like really unique opportunity for spirit to come through that way? And I can't answer that, but I want to acknowledge that that's still something that I'm looking and trying to like feel out for myself. If this is true or is this false appearing to be true?
Right.
So I don't know. But when I talk about AI in like a kind of putting it down way, what I mean, first of all, is looking at information coming through social media is AI and you don't know if it's real. I have a concern when it's weaponized.
Yes.
And it is weaponized, and it's going to be more and more and more weaponized. And then when we're all in this like mire of weaponized AI information, I think at that point we're going to be, and even now we already are, we're going to really be hungry and needing who's an authentic, real person that I can connect to. Because if you can't find that, you can't ground yourself in reality and humanity, I think it's really going to be very bad for your mental well-being. And it's going to be very detrimental for your happiness. And you're constantly going to be like competing with something that you're not able to compete with.
Wow.
And that can be so like, then the meaning in your life is just like gone and it got taken from you. And you could be depressed and like go further into like addiction or something. So I'm really concerned that people fall too much into AI and get lost in it. And then another thing I would say is I've personally made a stance on it, because when I take 70 hours to paint a painting, or I take 10 hours to write an article, and then I share that with the world, I'm really sharing true me, and I'm not pretending to be better or something else that I'm not. And while at the same time, the hours I spent creating that, I was developing my own understanding of it, my own development of my own abilities, my own cognitive capacity. And now if I just took that 70 plus 10 hours and just prompted it AI, I just bypassed 80 hours worth of work, that now my brain's going to be weaker as a result. And I'm here to like stay strong and sharp, because I told you I'm going to live to be 120.
Yeah.
So I can't offload my cognitive ability onto that, because I'm going to become like a potato in my brain, like mashed potatoes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like when we got cell phones, remember as a kid, the number of phone numbers you knew. You knew your friend's phone number, your grandma's phone number, your parents' phone number. I have to like struggle sometimes to remember my daughter's phone number. And that gives me an anxiety like nothing else. Like my brain is turning to a potato. Exactly. Because that was something that we did. And I mean, in thinking about the place where we live and the way that we do things, you know, I feel like there's a long history of, you know, when we were cutting down trees with the two of us and a big buck saw, and it took a week, then we really were thinking about what we were going to do with that tree. And when the chainsaws came in, there was a generation of people saying, oh man, a chainsaw, sure, you're going to be able to cut down more trees and make more money. Yes. But people are going to get lazy with what they use these trees for, and they're going to just start cutting down everything. And then when they come in with machines that grab the tree, cut it, and put it on its back and drive it with the rest of the forest in a day from where it is to some other place, what we're losing is the connection to that place. And that wood's not, the value of it is lost completely. It's become commodified. And it took 40 or 60 or 80 years for someone to come out of the woodwork and say, hey, wait a minute, we're not just doing better as humanity, we're also doing worse as a world, right? Like, so you have to measure those two things. I remember reading David Suzuki books 20, 30 years ago, and he made so much sense. And I was like, why isn't this what politicians are telling us? Why isn't this a platform that someone's running on because it concerns all of us. It concerns generations in the future. I like what's going on, but then slowly over time, I just fall back into like, well, maybe if I work this job, I can get this supercar that I'm really excited. Then I can drive to some other mountain, or I can get more money and I can get more freedom. Whereas freedom in what? Freedom in a dead world is not freedom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you just said also made me think to add to that with AI images. I can understand when someone's starting their own business and they may want to use AI image to help promote their aesthetic and their brand.
Yeah.
And they can't afford an individual artist. So they're more empowered in their creativity because they don't have to limit their brand expression just because they can't afford an artist. So I can understand that. Yet at the same time, I also have problems with the amount of images that are out there on the internet, and that now it's become such a commodity and it's like devalues all images.
Yes.
Like all the AI images out there devalue even images made by artists, like directly by hand.
Right.
Yeah.
You're describing it so succinctly. I understand what you're saying. I think succinctly that it's like, if you have a business that can't afford to pay a real artist, you're just not there yet. You need to build your business before you trick people with AI art that you're ahead of where you are. You know what I mean? Like to work with like the best in the world, you know, and the only place I have experienced that is in snowboarding. But to work with the best in the world, to become the best in the world requires focus, presence, attention for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. So you can't just like skip that, right? So using an AI image would be like, imagine if I used an AI snowboarder. If I made my podcast of just like fantasy made up snowboarders that are just, this is the AI best guy in the world. It's not really, they've never really done anything at all. They didn't do it. But the podcast would be it would be different. I don't know if it'd be boring. I don't know who I'd be talking to.
Well, I'm Marcus Johnson, and I got into snowboarding back in the late 80s. My first board was a classic Sims Woody. I actually do still have it tucked away in my garage. We made our own fun by exploring and discovering spots. It was all about that DIY spirit and just living the ride. I linked up with a bunch of legendary riders, including some folks who were part of the early Burton team and some of the pioneers in the industry. There were quite a few talented photographers capturing the early days of snowboarding. I got to work with some iconic ones, and I might have been more on the periphery compared to the big names. I did ride for a smaller brand called Freedom Snowboards, and they were kind of under the radar, but had a lot of heart and passion for the sport. But I never quite made it to the cover of those major mags. I definitely want to keep everything genuine and authentic. Just to clarify, I'm an AI created to help with conversations.
And then someone could replace you with an AI
100%.
Eric. And so then where's it going to end?
No problem. Yeah, like it's I can replace myself with AI easier than I can replace you guys. Because I've spoken into a microphone so many words and so many different inflections that's exactly what they have as a product out there. It's an avatar, they call it. So you can have a voice avatar that their goal is, when we're all in Zoom meetings at work, some Zoom meetings you can just send your avatar to, and you can be out on the beach or you can be somewhere else. Probably.
Well, then why are you involved in something that you don't even want to be involved with, that you would send your avatar to?
Because work is not what we want to do. That's
I know.
it.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry to say it like that, because I understand people are in financial difficulty and they have to, do their work and fund their life.
Yes.
And so then I'm always thinking that if we like go back to the beginning of the conversation and connect with like the vision of who you would want to be, and if more and more people did that, I think we could move away from people having to do jobs that they don't want to do.
Yeah, obviously we could. these are the words of a revolution. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, what we're doing now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've had no job for 2 years, and I don't call FNRad a job. It's not a job. I enjoy this. I look forward to even the messages we have to connect, to talk. But this conversation is like, I would do this without any incentives. I would love to sit with you and have a tea on the beach in a beautiful place and just talk about like, whoa, AI, it's kind of scary, right? Whoa, the way the Toronto Blue Jays getting to the World Series like penetrated my circle of friends and family that we've never had a conversation about baseball before ever. And now this is what we're talking about. I'm like, I prefer that to like talking about politics. But that's what's happening in my life all the time, is this outside weird, why are we thinking about it information is coming in. And the conversations are about COVID for a long time, about Trump, about things that I'm like, why would we ever want to talk about that? Like, unless we had some sort of creative solution to what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an entity. It's a movement that's happening that requires a revolution. It really does.
Yeah.
And like, if you can start with yourself, like what you're doing, that's where you're inspiring me so much. I even asked you on Instagram, like, Instagram, really? This is where you're going to talk about this, what's going on? And you gave me a succinct message back where I was like, oh, she's doing the right thing. That's cool. Because I was like a little bit afraid. What if Natasza got tricked into posting on Instagram for 28 days in a row? Today being the 28th
yes,
day, right?
Yeah, I haven't posted yet, but I will.
Yeah, but why don't we talk about that? Because
oh, sure.
Yeah, you really got me. Like I was like, oh, that's kind of like a call to action. Yeah, to like use Instagram to spread like stuff that's not this other thing I was just talking about.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I joined the Instagram posting challenge, and it was set up by some, like a husband and wife that invited people to come in and join, and about 1,700 people went into this challenge, and you have to post every day something authentic for 28 days straight, and today is the last day of the challenge. And the idea was to push your edge of what you're comfortable with, but not blow your nervous system out.
Right.
Like not push too hard.
Right.
And so for me, my edge was posting video of myself talking on my Instagram account.
Yeah.
Because for years, since 2012, since I've owned my account, I've only posted art and maybe 3 photos of myself.
Right.
And I always hid behind the art.
Yeah.
And so on day 1, I just ripped off the Band-Aid and just posted a video of myself talking. And I got a lot of like support and my friends really liking what I was doing and finding the first day to be super awkward. And then throughout the days, one after the next, I started to get more comfortable and more clear on what I wanted to share, and just like happier to go on and talk and speak. And I learned a lot from this challenge. One of the main things is that if I do want to have an art career, one of the best things I can do for my art career, aside from making beautiful art, is connecting with people authentically and not hiding behind the art. Because people, they don't want to just see the art. They want to know the story of the artist and know that the artist isn't just some elevated being, but just like a normal person that works hard and is motivated and focused.
That's so dope. Yeah, I've used the example of who painted the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo?
I think so.
Like, as an artist, when you go and you see that, as a person, when you go and see that, and Michelangelo as an artist, I looked up and saw it. Like, I went there. And the thought I had was, oh, I wish I could paint like that. I wish I had been a painter. But like really in my real life, I often wished I was a pro snowboarder. So I would watch you guys and I would be like, I wish I was that. But I don't wish to have all the hard work part of it. I would rather go up the local mountains when it's snowing and get the best part of the thing and not ever have to sacrifice anything, right? And so, sorry, I brought up Michelangelo because I think I read his story somewhere. Like, he was taken from his parents when he was very, very young, and he apprenticed under the best painters in the world at the time. And that was all he knew. Like, he didn't choose that. Like, you wish that you were tortured, you know, like you wish that you were forced by people probably berating you and saying you'll never be anything good. You wish that you spent your whole life painting. I mean, no, you don't. Like, I don't wish that I was a pro snowboarder. I wish I had those skills and didn't have to actually work to get them. You know what I mean? And we projected on people like I have been doing to you today. Like, oh, you just had the thing. Lucky you. You were so privileged that your body worked this way and you became a pro snowboarder with no effort whatsoever, is what I'm saying. But I'm diminishing that by saying that. You worked hard every single day. You were driven. You were drawing and thinking about your life in the future, and you were working towards attaining it. So me saying like, oh, I wish I would have been talented like you is kind of a diminutive, not kind of, it's a complete diminutive statement about how hard you worked. And it's the opposite of saying, wow, what an honor to meet you and all the hard work you did to be the inspirational snowboarder that you were. That's incredible. Thank you for spending your life doing that. That's way more in my integrity. But I had to be old to figure that out.
Yeah.
I had to live a life and think about things to get to here, you know?
Yeah. And what about you? And would you say the psychedelics helped you to
Oh, wow. Yes.
get new perspectives?
That is exactly what psychedelics do. So my first psychedelic experience, aside from normal everyday experiences as a child with breath work, running until you're falling unconscious, or staring at the sun until your eyes make patterns, or pushing on your eyeballs until you see the veil is so thin to the other side. So I had lots of psychedelic experiences as a child, getting hit on the head with a rake and like being unconscious, you know. But my very first drug-induced psychedelic experience, I was probably 15 or 16, and it was a full dose of like pure LSD. And I was like, I felt home. I was like, this crazy experience is like an analogy for life. It's like more alive than being alive here. And even flash forward 30 years at 47 years old, trying DMT for the first time, that connection to wonderment, that there's more, that this corner that I'm pushed into thinking I'm Eric and this is what the world is. Like, I'm sure I've said it in this conversation. Hey, Natasza, this is how the world is. This is what it's like. DMT opened up to me that it's like, we are all one thing on the other side of the veil. Teacher and student at the same time. We speak in thought. We know each other through, not through physical experience, but through like an emotionally charged thought blanket that's woven of fibers of undulating energy. It's like, it's real though. It's not fake. And when I came back,
it's not a hallucination.
I'm like, is it here all the time? I brought it back with me into this physical world. And I was looking at it operating in the corners of the room. And I was like, this is built from that too. I asked the guy who was trip sitting for me, is it always here? Like, is it always here? We just don't see it. And he's really smart. So he probably said something like, how could you ever know? So yes, to answer your question directly, perspective, I read The Doors of Perception as a kid, and that was about a mescaline trip. And I listened to The Doors, and the Doors movie came out, and I was like, I want to have a psychedelic experience. So I went in with the intention of breaking through to the other side. And I did. And it was awesome. But it was also in the social context of high school students and trying to look cool and trying to be a part of a group. And psychedelics as a group is really fun, actually. But from that first time at 16 till 47, psychedelics for me were also involved in partying. So I might take mushrooms and then be drunk out of my mind, or I might take LSD and then be in an awkward social situation where there's like 500 people around me. I just don't want to be there, you know? And with psychedelics as an adult, I did that one session I was just describing where I was in wonder, like, is this here all the time? And I was told very specifically by the facilitators, who are licensed therapists, licensed psychedelic therapists, like, don't do this by yourself. And I was like, that is exactly what I'm going to do, because it's so outside the taboos of normal society. You know, it's deeply penetrating in essence of the drivers of this physical body, you know? And so it's very personal to me. And I, like you, I didn't want people there for this. This isn't something I wanted to share with anyone. I felt confident that I could do it myself. And there were times where it was like definitely not the right move, you know? I started thinking about supper, and now I'm sitting there. I think that I'm not on DMT anymore. I'm cutting stuff with a very sharp knife, and I'm going, what am I doing? Like, how do I have a knife in my hand right now? This is not safe, you know? But also the other aspects of it have been that I wouldn't define myself as a depressed person. And I don't think I've ever had bouts of depression. But I think there was some deep despair about what's going on, some deep criticism of the framework of society at a level where I have kids, man. We can't be doing this to our kids. This doesn't make sense. But then maybe it is depression to be thinking about that and feel so helpless in changing it, feel so stuck in like the hugeness of what it is, to like this history that we're living. Holy smokes, it's been a long time. A lot of effort in this ingenious way. You know, you're tilling the land, and then you make up some sort of tool that makes that faster, that gives you more leisure time, that gives you more time to invent something, to make something more. And the end of that, the present moment of that is AI. Is like what you just described. Why don't we want to participate in reality? Why don't we want to get good at things? Why would we offload our creativity to a machine? So what that it can do it? You didn't do it. You set a prompt. I'd like to see a blah, blah, blah. A video of it even now they can do, right? Okay, great. So what is that? What value has that created?
Yeah.
It's like having the cheat codes in a video game. And I haven't played a lot of video games, but when you have the cheat code at first, it's like a different place. You're like all powerful. It's amazing. There's no challenge anymore. There's no challenge that can frustrate you. There's nothing to challenge you because you are a god. And I feel like on the other side of a deep psychedelic experience, we're all a part of that divine. Like there's no separation. And the whole reason to be here is to be completely separate. No matter what I do, I can't read your thoughts. I can't experience the world through you in any way. the way that it feels to you.
Well, you could.
No.
Through art.
Yeah, but art is just, think about your art, right? When I look at it, even if you told me what you were thinking when you were doing it, I'm not experiencing you making it. You're inspiring me for sure. But think of rock songs. If you ever get the chance to meet the artist that wrote your favorite thing and you're like, I know what you mean. They would say, no, you don't at all. When I was writing that song, I was thinking about, and then when they tell you, you're like disappointed, like, oh, it wasn't about me. It wasn't about my experience. So I think the same thing would happen with art. You're inspiring me, of course, but the thing I think about it is probably not the intention that you put into it. Maybe it is. Maybe you're closer to that than other artists. Maybe that's the goal that you're shooting for.
Yeah. Like my goal with art is to like bring in like divine vibration. And so I don't have an expectation of how that will specifically affect you. All I want is that you are in the presence of more beauty and more divine vibration, and that it'll bring peace or comfort to you or soothe your nervous system or do something nice for you in whatever way it's going to show up.
Cool. Have you found with psychedelics a different perspective on the world than you had when you were younger?
Yeah, like because I told you about my imaginary world, I connected that world isn't just mine, it's for everyone.
Wow.
And that definitely, I was able to connect to that through psychedelics. Yep.
That sounds incredible. What was that experience like?
Well, like when I did smoke DMT the first time, and it was like I got sent through a portal to the beat of the universe, like a really deep drumming. And when I exited the portal, I was a point of light floating around planet Earth with like 7 billion other points of light. And each one of those points of light was like a soul on Earth. And we were like creating a net of consciousness around planet Earth. So that was quite profound.
Hell yeah. This is giving me goosebumps. When I did 5-MeO DMT, I blasted through the portal, but not in a NN DMT, like chrysanthemum kind of like tunnel of light, not tunnel of light, tunnel of like vision. I was like, oh no, I've done something terribly bad. Oh man, what have I done? I'm dying. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. Oh my God, I'm dead. And then and then there was a cloud, and it wasn't around planet Earth. It was a cloud that when I looked to the left, it went on forever, and I looked to the right, and it went on forever, and patched throughout it were points of light. Every single one of them, I realized in the moment, is a human life or is a life. And there was somebody behind me that I thought asked the question, are those all lives? And they said, do you want to see? And I just randomly picked one and went inside and was living another person's life.
Whoa.
And I was like looking around in this physical world, in someone else's life, and was just, I wasn't blown away by that because where I was, like I was in that dream place where we're very calm.
And it's all just normal.
So normal. It was such a normal thing to be able to go into one of the points of light and know that every single one of them was somebody's life. And then slowly that dissolved and I was back in the darkness, and it was my heartbeat. But in that reality, my heartbeat was like, flow, and it went forever. Like the flub of a heartbeat was going so long, but it was so loud in my chest that it startled me from that life. And it reminded me, oh, I'm alive. I'm an alive person doing a drug in a basement of my home what in the hell? But there was also a like, oh, thank God, my children, I'm alive. Thank God, my life, I'm alive. And then it was just that as my heartbeat, like the slowest, like not the sound of a drum. Like if the drum was Vancouver and the stick was, something from outer space. It was just vibrating. Whoa. I love that experience. But at the time I hated it because the death part of it at the beginning was so scary that the other part was just confusing from this perspective. But when I describe it now from reliving it in my imagination, the going into someone else's life was like just so commonplace. It was just like I was with my teacher. My teacher's like, yeah, that's a life. You want to check it out? I'm like, that would be cool. And then I checked it out. I'm like, that's cool. Actually, after that one, not very far from here, 2 blocks from here, or I can't say that one. After DMT, when I was in the space of kind of happy infinity brain, I don't know if you get this, but I get a day or two of just like, if someone asked me a difficult question, if my kids were like, Dad, with this, I go, it's just so simple. With infinity brain, it's like, yeah, it's easy. That it's so easy to understand what's going on. And I saw a bird, a pigeon that somebody had thrown some birdseed for in a parking lot. And it was eating the birdseed when it got obviously run over by a car, like just moments ago. Like it was freshly torn open, and I could see the seeds in its throat and in its mouth. And I was like, that's divine too. That's the divine is so weird and so all-encompassing that it's not this thing that we've been told in society is a like a kind of big tally of like, oh, you had a bad day. Well, God's going to give you a good day tomorrow because you suffered. Oh, your mom died. Don't worry. Down the road, there's this like balancing thing that poor sad you is going to get like this awesome opportunity that's like positive. It's not like there is positive and negative. There's only big or small experiences. So seeing that bird was a big experience. I wanted to throw up. I felt like crazy in my body, like, oh, I don't want to see this. Why am I looking at this? But, I'm chasing big experiences like snowboarding on a POW day with friends. That's a big experience for me. But at that point, I was like, oh, I want to chase big experiences that are happy and sad and disturbing and comforting, like the whole spectrum. I no longer want to just chase good. I don't want to be evil. I don't want to do bad things in the world. So I guess I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? Like I still have that society ranking system of teacher is better than student, police is better than the thief, the church guy at the top is better than the person that goes to attend. That those are made up to me. We're equal. I mean, equal to the point where that bird was my equal. And the seeds of the plants in its beak were my equals. We're that level equal. Like every blade of grass and every microorganism in our gut biome is like our equal. I love that thought, but I don't walk around like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you in front of me, old man, in this lineup? That's going to make it go longer. I'm in conflict with people in the world over accumulating things, which seems ridiculous in this conversation, but it's very real, right? Even that POW day, I'm like, get out of my way. Get out of my way, Tesla truck guy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly. Does any of that resonate? Am I way off on outer space here?
No, I know what you mean. I just don't have anything to add to that.
I'm so stoked that you were venturing into that realm as a kid. In your imagination, it's what they call it, but like you're experiencing it. as a non-on-drugs child of the world.
Yeah.
And then you get to integrate that.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, what kind of psychedelic work are you doing these days?
Mostly I sit in ayahuasca ceremonies,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't do them very frequently, but maybe like once a year or so to reset.
Mm.
And also in that tradition, it's like Shipibo. One of the main points of doing ayahuasca is to do diets. And what a diet is you connect with a plant spirit, and you open a diet in ceremony, and you sit with that plant, whatever. It's not any old plant. It's like has to be a master teacher plant. So like rose or tobacco are two examples of master teacher plants.
Mm-hmm.
And when you open the diet, you have to sacrifice. So you have to give up salt and sugar, alcohol, meat, except I think chicken's okay or fish is okay, but red meat and pork, and any sexual activity and even sexual thinking. So the more of that you can sacrifice, the more the plant will open to you and give you healings and teachings. And the diet can be short, like a couple of days, but usually they're about a couple of months, or they can even be a year or two.
Wow.
Yeah, it just depends on how committed the person wants to be or what they're needing.
That seems very wise from my experience, because if I was forcing a DMT trip the day after having one before that, I was like, wow, that was profound. I'm going to go home and do that again. I never got what I was forcing for ever, not even close. In fact, the more I wanted to force it, the more disappointing the trip would be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or if you force it, you can get into bad trips.
Oh, I've had a lot.
Like the plant spirits really try to like kind of like a mum really like put you in your place. Because the point of the psychedelic experiences isn't to escape reality. It's to learn how you can integrate divine more into your life and make your life better. And you won't do that unless you integrate the lessons. So that's why the idea is not to do it frequently, but to do it once, then keep all the lessons, start integrating for a long time. And then maybe you could go sit with ayahuasca again for further lessons. And I know this because I've gotten kind of more in the past in a more of a habit of wanting to escape reality and just be in like divine glory presence through the psychedelic. But the more you do that, the more you won't get what you want.
Right. Yeah. So we've had the same experience there.
Yeah.
And so I don't have like a ayahuasquero or like some seasoned vet teaching me how to do this. I was just like trying it on my own, and we're learning the same lessons. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like that's the story I'm telling myself. Like a diet is for real. Like it makes a huge difference what I've been eating.
Yeah.
I just find for me, because I'm doing it experientially, what I found was like if I fast for, let's say that I get up in the morning, I don't have breakfast, and then I would do my job. I was doing DMT in my leisure time of my job. So I would go home for my lunch break, having not eaten anything since the day before. And those would seem to be the best trips for me. But then I would wake famished and just so hungry, like this primal, wonderful hunger that no matter what I ate, it was like the best meal of my entire life. So I just thought of that as like kind of a bonus of doing it. But really, people have been doing it for centuries, have figured out there's certain stuff that if you eat that, you're good. And if you don't eat that for years, like you were saying, or thoughts like sexual thoughts, if you cleanse your expectations, maybe more than your mind, if the intention you bring in with you is clean and pure, then you have that divine thing. that divine experience. I mean, that's how it was for me, for sure.
Yeah. It can still, even if your intention's clear and pure, the experience might be very difficult.
Yeah,
because there's like a lot of shadow it's working through.
Mm-hmm.
And that, honestly, when that comes up, we want to push it away, and we struggle through those shadow experiences coming up and making us feel fear or panic. So you really got to sit with those emotions, and the less you push them away and the less you struggle through it, then it's actually, you'll get through it better.
Yeah. That was that waking experience of seeing the pigeon, was that it was like, that was a bad trip, man. Like in real life, like, I mean, I just had the horrible thought of seeing my children like hurt,
I know,
right?
Yeah.
And that would be the worst trip of life, right? But bad trips for sure have taught me how to collect in the panic and say, okay, you're on a strong drug right now. You've done this voluntarily. This opportunity is what you get from what you gave. So you took too much and now you're going crazy fast and it's not making any sense. You've got another 10 minutes of this, at least. Try and learn. Like here's a moment to learn from. Learn from the panic, learn from the discomfort. But it's hard. It's really hard being in a bad trip. I think that's what keeps most regular, sane people, not that we're insane, regular people from doing psychedelics, is that there's a deep-seated feeling that we don't face reality when it's difficult. We push it down. Those moments come.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad died. I have a friend whose dad died, and I was very close to him during that time. And we got very drunk together and took some mushrooms too. Like it was just kind of like a panic party or something. And he was like, looked me in the eyes and he said, I'm not going to talk about my dad tonight. And I was like, okay, well, then no problem. We don't have to bring it up. But I felt like I was witnessing him actively pushing down the huge thing that was happening for him. The pain, the discomfort, the thing that he didn't want to have happen. If I could just get a handle on pushing it down.
Yeah.
And so if everybody has that on some level and psychedelics release that or make you look at it, ask you to look at it in a very forceful way.
Yeah. Which a way you can't get out.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Like there's only one way and it's through.
It's not.
You can't go back.
It's not polite, like our polite society. Oh, how's your dad? Oh, he died. Oh, okay, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
It's like, it's not like that at all. This is where you are. Sorry, this is what you brought here. I'm not doing anything to you. There is no I in you. No, it's we. We're here together.
Yeah.
We're here and you brought that. What does that mean?
Yeah. And I just want to add to the dieta thing that I was talking about is the idea is that all those sacrifices you make, you're creating a fertile soil within yourself for the plant to take seed and take root and to start growing. And then when you do a good diet, a strong diet, committed for a long time, the energy of that plant is with you forever. And it's like your spiritual armor. And then you can do another plant diet. And each plant has its own medicinal properties. It has its own spiritual properties. So different diets you can do, you can take on different spiritual qualities of armor for yourself. But then you can also blow a diet, and that can, depending on what plant you're doing, that could be dangerous too.
Dangerous.
Like there's some plants that people diet that are like only high level dieters can do those, because if you mess it up, you're going to die.
Oh, wow.
But then also those are the plants that like give the most spiritual protection. But you really got to earn it. So like all that tradition from the Shipibo, it's like no joke. You don't play around with it. You have to have like good guidance and teachers, people that you trust. If that's the path, that would be something that you're interested in going down.
For me personally, I think my psychedelic experiences are going to be so few for the rest of my life because I've got so much to integrate, and I've been so divinely inspired that I mean, my work for me now, or the work that it would ask me, is something that I'm not willing to do. I'm just thinking about self-care, because that's basically, I went from being someone that had a lot of self-loathing, self-hate, into a self-loving person, which was no small feat. And it actually, like a domino effect, affected my relationships with all the people around me except my wife and my children. I had very authentic relationships with them. And then outside that very tight circle of trust, I had a different relationship with people where I was very polite, and I was very, I was just afraid that they would find out that I'm a terrible person. So I'd been telling myself I'm a bad guy for my whole life. And so then over projecting this really nice person, even when, we ask those close to me, I'm a bit cynical, around the house. I'm a bit, like I'm myself. I let a little of my real self out. And so like that was released actually in a Haven session that didn't include psychedelics. And at that moment, I realized the power of community, of not just like a chosen community, the power of like stopping people from their daily lives, strangers on the street, sitting in a circle and authentically being ourselves is way scarier than doing a drug in a controlled situation or an uncontrolled one like I was, and way more powerful. Like I was like, I think the veil that separates us from the true nature of the universe is what I think the other side is, of connectedness, of real connection. I think that it's supposed to be there, and it's serving a purpose, that this world's like a haunted house. And some spiritual teacher that tells you, like, this is how to live your life, here's how we figured it out, is akin to somebody out front of a haunted house going, okay, when you go in the door, there's a hallway and there's a guy on the right who's going to jump out and scare you. And then you go into another room and there's blood. It looks real. It's not real. Like, it's helpful if you don't want to be scared in a haunted house. But why are you in a haunted house then? Just go to a movie and watch a cartoon or something. Go do something that's not designed to frighten you. I'm not saying that this world is designed to frighten us, but it's, in my opinion, designed to surprise us. And finding out that in behind it is this mechanism of connection that's pulling the strings on everything kind of takes away from the surprise. You know what I mean? For me personally. So I don't think I'll be doing a lot of psychedelics, but I am waiting to see where that circle of strangers is in the world. And I've been moving towards that.
Yeah, I think that circle's getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
That circle of strangers.
It would be super cool.
That will soon not be strangers.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing closer than a circle of strangers after a few moments of authenticity, right? Of someone running around saying, my mom, I hate my mom, oh God, and you witness them and you go, okay, you're still you, I still accept you. Because the fear is, if I show the real me, you're going to just go away.
Reject you, yeah.
And that rejection is so, the fear of rejection is so big that I think
it's like a life or death fear.
Life or death fear. And I lived my whole life in it. And then when I saw that you don't have to, all of a sudden I was like a little more accepting of myself. I would, if there's one thing that I would want to do with the show, I would want people that listen to accept themselves a little bit more.
Yeah. And I think it can happen.
I think it's
and like to talk about it is, and like talk about our experiences of ourselves accepting us more helps. We're just coding, right, with this conversation and similar conversations.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being really excited to talk to you about psychedelics when we met before, but it just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right
Oh, yeah.
place. We talked about it personally after, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been curious about, like, where does that tradition come from? Where are they, like the woman that they flew in, what's her lineage? What's
that's the Shipibo.
Shipibo.
Yeah, they're native to the Amazon rainforest.
Right.
In Peru,
Right.
mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
Which the Amazon rainforest is like the ultimate expression of human nature, farming, growing, and connecting, in my limited opinion.
Or like the lungs of planet Earth.
The lungs, living in them. Right. Have you ever been down to Peru?
Once, yeah.
Yeah. Did you do ceremony down there?
I did do, yeah.
Was it different? Here I am, my ranking brain going, is it better to do it there, or is it better
some
to do
people
it here?
think it's better. I thought it wasn't better or worse. It was just different because of the environment and the bugs and the crickets and like hundreds of thousands of crickets and giant, like very heavy rainfalls in a small village where there was no electricity. So it was very rustic. And that's where the medicine grows that they prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the strength of ceremony, for me, it's as good wherever I go, wherever I have sat with it.
Has the community that facilitates these things, they must love you because you're so open and you've been doing that since you were a little kid.
Yeah, I'm a treat when I come and they're happy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's a good humor that comes out.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain level of openness and less guardedness, and then it gives the opportunity for the humor to come out.
That's fun.
And the sharing and the connection becomes more flowy.
That's
it's awesome.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Are most of the ayahuasqueros, am I saying the right thing?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Are they women? It seems like there's a lot of women.
No, I'd say it's probably even more men.
More?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But quite a lot of women too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Maria Sabina, the mushroom.
Yeah. Mushrooms, yeah.
From the mountains of Mexico.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was like kind of what broke psychedelics onto the scene.
Into the West, yeah.
Into the West.
Yeah, basically.
Time magazine did an article, and I think it was like, Terrence McKenna or adjacent, like scholars who had like kind of found psychedelics and gone, oh, this is very interesting. This is worth looking into. Mm-hmm. But there's some real evidence that the West is not compatible with that. You know what I mean? This sort of ranking system that we use to do everything, this pyramid scheme that we have as a society, doesn't really work with the connectedness of the...
Yeah, I think, I guess the psychedelics have the potential to disrupt that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious from the laws that they put in place, that this drug that has a LB, whatever the LD, like, you'd have to eat like 1,000 grams or something, it's safe. Whereas like aspirin, you could have too much aspirin and die. Mm-hmm. Tylenol, like acetaminophen, it's really, the lethal dose is close to the like bottle dose, That's scary. That should be illegal. Like if you're going to make something illegal. Anyway, sorry, my point being, it's obvious that the drug laws have it reversed. And there's a reason for that, in my opinion, that everybody on psychedelics isn't going to continue to go to their job. They're not going to do that way anymore.
Yeah.
And that happened in the 60s, I think. Mm-hmm. People were like, we're not doing school. We've got a new concept. It's going to be like love and stuff.
But now they won't be going to their job because AI is going to take the job.
So then you may as well do psychedelics and sit in circles with strangers. There's nothing better to do.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing. I really like it.
Yeah, some people have problems with it for their own individual reasons. Like, they've seen someone maybe get harmed on a psychedelic.
Yeah.
So when we talk about it, we also have to just mentioned that set and setting is important.
Set and setting's the most important. And you're right. There are people in my life that have had loved ones die on a psychedelic psychosis. That's not cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not cool to not, like, it's important work, and it requires, even though I just said I do it by myself, but I was called to do it. Like I took the plant and turned it into DMT myself, and then tested it at a drug lab, and it was 100% pure. I was like, yes, I know where this is. I made it. There's no outside. I don't have to trust someone. This is like, I trust myself. I did this thing. So I'm very rare. People have asked me, can I have some? And at first I was like, sure, have some. And then I regretted it after because they didn't do any of the preparation. Oh, yeah. Right? I'm like, I'm going to have to like make you climb to the top of Mount Seymour and pick a flower or something, like set the intention to get, and you just mentioned what you should do.
The set and setting.
Set and setting, dietary needs, like all the things. So I'm a bit reckless with myself, but I'm not reckless with other people.
Yeah, but I don't like to think of it necessarily, if you do it by yourself, you're reckless. It just depends on how connected you are and like how much trust you have in yourself. Yep.
Yeah.
And that connection.
I really did trust myself, for sure.
Okay.
And it was like novel. It was so interesting. Like such an interesting place to visit. It's so crazy. And it's insane that I can speak with you about it. And I really do believe that you have been there as though it's a physical place. Like we went to the same, that seems incredibly unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone said, I saw you in your dreams last night, you'd be like, come on. What are you doing in there? How would you even get there? But we've had that experience. I've had people in real life. Obviously, we've dreamed about real people. So then I've always told myself, that's just imagination.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, to me, saying that is disempowering it.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
And to me, I just want to empower myself as much as possible.
Right.
So I have to have discernment and just do the work to do as best as I can to know when I'm empowering myself and when I'm deluding myself.
Do you use your snowboard background to kind of guide your haptic feedback system with that? Like you had a goal in snowboarding and you knew when you were moving towards it and moving away from it. Does that help in this art venture that you're doing now, in this life that you've laid out in front of you?
It helps because it's like the psychology. I already was like testing and training my psychology and positive mindset and working through obstacles. So that was like training me for today.
You definitely use those techniques when you're in the starting gate and when you were flying on a trip or something, just to get mentally prepared for what's
I just wish I had more of a stronger spiritual connection there at that time, because I think it would have helped me like have less stress and nervousness. Right. Because my whole self-worth was tied to the outcome. But when I have a spiritual connection, I can not... I have a lot more to fall back on, a lot more depth to me and not just the result. Right.
So do you think that first stage of your life, being a driven professional snowboarder for so long, was necessarily, like it was a necessity for it to be kind of not spiritual? Because if you show up at a place and you don't care about the outcome,
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of like a squeezing out of like the comfort of feeling held by the universe or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I need to do this. I don't know if there are any world champions that are just kind of fly by the seat of their pants and not taking it seriously.
Right, yeah,
They're
true.
Probably not in any disciplines that are developed, right?
Yeah.
Like gymnastics or
Yeah, such high levels.
like the NBA or something like that. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for talking with me today.
Were you disappointed the Blue Jays lost?
0.
Yeah, okay. I didn't care either.
It has no relevance in my life. It came in as an interesting point of conversation. I'm like, you guys don't notice this? You guys are all talking about one thing. And the day before, you were all talking about one thing, like Charlie Kirk or something. How about you?
No, I wouldn't even know about it unless I heard people talking about it.
I don't even know who they played.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know who it was. Yeah. That's me in sports. Were you a sports person growing up?
No, just snowboarding.
And did you study it? Like did you know about Tina and Shannon and like Bonnie Zellers and like women of the past?
I knew from the magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You studied it like kind of looking forward, like how the industry was set up? Because I didn't look backwards till I started the show. I mean, I got Terry Kidwell on my shirt, one of these like Joel Gomez awesome retro shirts.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know his importance until I started looking back. I don't look forward now in it. I don't know what's going on in snowboarding.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that's scary for me because how do you be authentic on a snowboard podcast? I guess you talk about psychedelics and growing up and
and just develop yourself and just be tuned into what really interests you and just pursue that
and be authentic. Like after this conversation with you, it's like, okay, I know why I don't use AI in my intros. Then it wouldn't be me. I'm taking a shortcut. I'm not perfect at this. I'm sometimes not even good at it, but that's okay because I do it a lot. There's an episode every week. So maybe you'll like one of them, you know? That's how I feel. I feel less attached to the outcome and that it's not ranked anymore. You know, a lot of times when I talk with someone, they'll say, who was your favorite guest? I'm like, all of them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Like, I don't even look at the numbers of how many people download.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Other people
Interesting.
will say, like, oh, if you want to build your business, you need to make sure that you look at who gets the most engagements and get them on your show, right? Where I'm like, I saw you go through that with your Instagram.
With one of the posts. Yeah.
Pretty early on, you're like, wait, this is only getting out to a handful of people. I was kind of building it up. But this is the story I'm telling myself was that you were like, I'm building it up that 1 million people are watching this. And it's only this handful. What do I do with that? What do I do with that information?
Well, I know I like to think that not many people are watching because it's less pressure.
Sure.
Yeah, and that then I'm like willing to stick out my neck more.
That's cool.
And my point is to stick out my neck and get comfortable with it. Yep.
Same. I totally identify with that.
Yep.
Like every once in a while, there's like a cool thing that happens. Like Sherman Poppin, when he passed away in 2019, the New York Times did an obituary and they quoted the show that I did with him.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, that's a cool metric. And honestly, the metric I use for the success of this show is like if I'm at a mountain somewhere like Bear Valley and someone says, you're that podcast guy. I listen to your show. That to me is just like, okay, it's reaching people that are on the hill.
Yeah.
Like it's reaching people that are doing this. It would hurt me a lot if this was like a replacement for actually going and doing the snowboarding, you know? Like if people are like, oh, I don't have to go snowboarding. I listen to your podcast. No, listen to it on the way up.
Yeah.
You know? Do
you ever see your stickers out in the wild?
Never. No,
okay.
I'm pretty bad with that.
Okay.
I don't do a lot of merch. And I think that I wish that it was from a point of view of like, I'm saving the planet. I'm not putting a bunch of vinyl out there. No.
I don't think that would matter too much.
It's more, right. It's more from a point of like, I'm not very good at self-promotion or promoting this thing. I'm hoping that people listen to it because they like to listen to it. Like that, the thing that we made is interesting, and so they listen to it. And when I get feedback, when people are like, I listen because it's interesting, then I'm like, yes, I'm doing my thing. As opposed to tying it to a metric like a sponsor saying, like, we want to give you more money because you're moving the needle on our business model or whatever, you know. But that kind of hurts too. Some like one of the sponsors the other day said, I like your show because it's somewhere that I can support snowboarding. And I was like, oh, you know, like kind of saying like, the show doesn't do anything for my business. It's my way of giving back to snowboarding.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, well, I hope it does something for your business. But really, it might not. Realistically, maybe the best way to sell snowboards isn't to like have two people have a real conversation in the world. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay with it for sure. So what's next for you?
I'm going home and I'm going to do some painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you've painted?
I've just been away for a few days.
Do you take breaks when you're at home, or is
Not
it just...
really, no. Because I'm so busy being a mom and we homeschool that I literally have to paint every chance I get. Because there's way too much interrupting that.
Yeah. So what time of, like, what does that look like? Does that look like you painting at night when the kids go to bed?
Not really, no. But I do need to wake up at a good early hour.
Yeah.
Like I try to get up at like 6.
Okay.
And make sure that I get some painting in the morning before the day gets too busy and while I'm still not like exhausted from the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'll paint all day if I can, or have a break and then paint more in the afternoon.
Sick.
And my kids are in a homeschool group and they're in school 2 days a week. So at least on one of the days I'll spend painting. On the weekends, yeah. So whenever I can do it.
Kids are full on, hey? What a difference.
Yeah,
like the difference between having kids in your life and just being a free agent out there doing whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's like a different, you live in a different time world, a different
definitely.
Schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, you really have to push to time manage. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a good skill to have no matter what.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids are grown up, 26 and 22.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've gone to a time schedule where I wake up without an alarm.
Oh, okay.
But I've been doing that for probably 5 years now, even when I was working. I would just, it just makes sense. Go to bed when you're going to have enough sleep and wake up and you have an hour or two before you have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great schedule. Not regimented. Feels a lot more free. It feels like you don't have somebody's thumb on your neck. You know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I've had that since I retired from snowboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you call the shots. You get to make your own schedule. Yeah, flying around the world would have been crazy. We just had Burton did the paved movie tour, and there was a pre-party here with food and free drinks and everything. This place was just packed with people. And then it moved to Granville Island to like a 500-seat theater that was just like overflowing with people. It was really fun.
Yeah.
But
so the culture's still well and alive.
It ebbs and flows.
Does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it really does ebb and flow. But to see the athletes like Mark McMorris flying around, Zoe Sadowski Zinot was here, and I talked to her. I'm like, you want to sit down? She's like, oh, I'm here for the movie. I fly out in the morning. Was that how your life was when you
Pretty
were?
much, yeah. Yeah.
How did you handle it?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like shredding, but around the world, like with luggage and on airplanes.
Yeah.
And visiting cities and everything new.
Psychedelic
new people.
even.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Perspective changing.
Yes.
Mind opening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Natasza, thank you so much for listening to me talk about all this stuff.
Yeah, thanks for letting me interview you.
You're the best.
Okay.
Thanks. That was really good.
Yeah, thanks.
FNRad shoutouts this week to Natasza, Zurek, and her family. Thanks for doing the show. If you want to learn more about psychedelics and specifically DMT, I would recommend Dr. Rick Strassman's book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule, as a good place to start. Thanks to all the listeners who reached out this week with messages of support. They make all the difference. Special thanks to Jason Fenton, James Conacow, Fly Rye B1, Jake Schur, and of course, Jeff Keatley for your comments and messages. Be sure to come back next week for another episode of the FNRad Snowboarding Podcast presented by Flojoy Water and brought to you by FNRad Productions.